Before we get started, does anyone want to get out?
Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's episode of Comics Watch. We're doing an interview this week with my buddy JD, the Otaku. How you doing, buddy?
Yo.
So, what brings you here? What would you like to tell us? Tell people about yourself. Like, kind of describe yourself.
Oh, I'm just a guy with, just a guy with autism who likes to make comics. And basically, I'm just now starting to actually make actual physical books.
Ooh.
Actually, I've been drawing digitally since 2017. So it kind of shows you I don't have much experience digitally because I've been drawing since I was probably a toddler or something, and I was born in 1988. So that gives you an idea.
Not too much younger than me, so it's all good.
I know. I'm just explaining because of when I first started doing digital, it was 2017. So yeah.
Yeah, it almost feels like a different time. I feel like.
Yeah, tell me about it.
In the world, a long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
I was waiting for you to make a joke, Jared. I was waiting for it.
Lols.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're doing digital. Let's show people exactly what you got going on. All right.
Okay.
So this is your indie planet.
Yes.
And how many titles do you have currently out right now?
16, I believe.
Whoa, nice.
Someone has been busy.
You've been cranking out that content, dude.
Well, to be fair, it was 2020 and onward that kind of, when we had to do all that stupid stuff,
Yeah. So let's just kind of talk about what we're in. Let's talk about this one because I do like this cover, like the rain and all that stuff. It's got a nice atmosphere to it. So tell me about Kunai. What's this book about?
Oh, Kunai? Yeah, he's mostly he's kind of like a Batman ninja detective character.
I like him already.
Yeah, and he's actually a former assassin turned superhero. And he was abducted by a ninja clan and all this other junk. It's kind of somewhat complicated, but whenever I get to his origin tale, like a year one, I'm probably gonna try to streamline it and make it easier to understand.
Fair enough. Yeah, this I like the composition of this is actually pretty good.
The colors really pop.
Yeah, they do actually. Yep, they really do.
Yeah, so tell me more about Kunai. What else do people need to know about him?
Oh, he's a ninja who wears purple and somewhat of grayish blue. He has a lot of weird stuff going on. Also,
tell me more about his character. Tell me more his character, his world.
Okay.
Obviously we see his purple. I want to know more about the character. Tell me what I can't see on this page.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's pretty much he's he's a guy who's been through a lot of trauma. Let's leave it at that. And also he had to go through a lot of psychopathic bad guys. His grandfather did some weird shit to him. Weird crap, sorry. I didn't.
It's okay. Just keep going.
Okay, and anyway, he's pretty much a tactical minded person who thinks, and he keeps everything close to the chest. He's kind of also, if you met him, out of costume, he's mostly kind of an aloof guy in some appearances, but that's because it's somewhat of a distraction from his real identity, or in some cases, well,
good. Keep going.
It's actually disguise. He sometimes disguises himself, to go through enemy territory and to analyze stuff. Think of it as like all the classic ninja tropes, but also one element I would say that inspired him was the Shadow and Batman, and a few should know a few anime manga that deal with ninjas and samurai and everything.
Mm-hmm.
One of them was Roni Kenshin, I guess,
Okay.
and his last name Fujishima. His real full name is Ken Fujishima. He was named after the guy who did Oh My Goddess.
Ah.
Okay.
So what other inspirations did you have for this comic?
Oh, one of my inspirations. Oh,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, I
I
want to
got
know
I got
about
a
you.
lot
I
of.
don't know everything, so.
I know. Just click on that. The one that says issue 1. I'll tell you
Mhm.
more about that one.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Let's do it.
Yeah,
It's loading. So all right, here
Yeah.
we go.
There
yeah.
you
It was
go.
issue 1 of Kunine was actually a prototype version of the Otakuverse anthology. Like it's an
Okay.
anthology with 3 different stories. Then tries people to read it, and also it's pretty cool. Is that this is the first introduction of Stryker, the mercenary character, in the second story, and in the third story he fights Neko Neko,
All right.
who would later become his Catwoman / wife thing.
Oh,
All
that's
right.
cool.
Tell me more about Neko Neko. I'm really interested in this character. So.
Oh, Neko Neko? Okay. Okay. If you want to see a Neko Neko pic, it's on one of the Otakuverse covers.
All right.
Which
let me
one?
just-
The third one. You gotta have to go down to see it. Okay, that's the one. That's the one next to the next gen ones. That one and the third. Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Oh, she looks cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I commissioned someone to do the cover. I did the inks on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it looks pretty
Looks
cool.
pretty. Looks pretty. So who's this dude right here? Like,
Oh,
tell me more about this guy.
Oh, okay. That's Torment. Think of him as like a version of Bane, but more brutal.
More brutal than Bane. Well, that's high praise.
I wondered what would go first. Your mind
Or your body.
I know, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, so tell me more about this villain character, like where he's from, what's his motivations. I want to hear everything. So
Yeah. You won't hear about it in the story yet because I haven't got a chance to do his origin story, but to be fair, he's an Iranian super soldier
Mhm.
who takes a super
Okay.
drug called Hyde.
Mhm.
Like Jekyll and Hyde.
Yeah, that's cool.
nice.
Yeah, and the weird thing is, depending on how evil a person is, depends how powerful they become with Hyde.
No, it's kind of like the super soldier serum brings out like the best / worst in you. So like, yeah, I like that.
Yeah, but what it is, it's a drug. Like it's a reference to Jekyll and Hyde.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, nice.
it's unknown if it was a Nazi project or not. So who knows, right?
You can always decide later. It's all good.
I know. I was just joking.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
So what's this next gen? What's this about?
Oh, he's like my version of Iron Man. He's an autistic super genius who develops an armored suit that can fly around and can go in space in different areas. And apparently, it's a very high tech suit.
You would know, wouldn't you? You developed it.
Yeah, I know. I know. I just had to. Some of the design elements, like the head, those two gun barrel things looking on his head, that actually comes from Mobile Suit Gundam.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, I use that as a way to justify it, and also, because it gives you kind of 180-degree firing range to take down missiles and stuff. I mean, it makes more sense.
Yeah.
And the middle of the
Yeah,
head, on the top area is a camera. It's an extra camera sensor that gives them extra data. And yeah, and also the suit's powered by Next energy.
Mm-hmm.
What is Next Energy? Can you please tell us about that?
Just think of it as the ultimate green energy source that no one actually wants to be implemented in the actual power grid, because basically it would put all the green energy sources out of business.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah,
that's interesting. I like that. I do. I really do.
yeah. That's the sad part, is that it's hard to actually sell those next particle devices. I mean, next energy devices. And
they're taking our jobs.
Yeah, there's a few of those cars made with that technology, but like I said, it's harder to make it work,
Yeah. So what's next gen's conflict? Like, who is he facing? Like what's kind of like the big drive of this book?
Well, one conflict is trying to understand. He's trying to get over, not over, but hard to explain. But he's trying to understand people. Autism makes it harder to understand people.
Right.
And also,
As a person with autism, yes, it does.
and also another part is that he's facing off the villain while dealing with that crap. So
who is the villain? Who is the villain of this book? Because that was actually going to be my next.
that's the Gilgamesh. That's the Gilgamesh connection. So it's Gilgamesh.
And who is Gilgamesh? Like, who are they?
Who is Gilgamesh? It's the it's like the inheritor of the title Gilgamesh from the family of Gilgamesh. They're all
well. That's all great. I'm just trying to know more about them. You're just telling
me. I know. That's what I'm trying
names,
to say.
Like, okay.
Yeah. In other words, it's like a title that was given to the current villain because he was related to the Gilgamesh family.
Okay, that makes sense.
And it's like a lineage.
Right. Okay.
Ever since.
All right.
From the
what does the Gilgamesh family do? Like, what are their objectives? Like,
Oh. Well, in this one, he's trying to get Next Gen's daughter to join him. But to be fair, another thing about the story is that technically Gilgamesh wants to conquer the world through a violent means of destruction. He thinks it's about time to actually, do something.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they've been manipulating humanity for years.
Oh, it's the Illuminati.
Sort of, yeah.
That makes sense. That's pretty cool. What I like looking at this is how like built up your all of your universes are, because it looks like you've really like fleshed out these worlds really well.
Yeah, they're all this. It's the same universe, different parts of it.
That's cool. That's cool.
Nice. So let's see here. What else we got here? Just kind of tell me, like, what are your goals with the Otakuverse? Like, what do you intend to do with that?
Just to create comics for people to enjoy. It's simple, but it makes sense.
Fair enough, but like, what do you have planned with like characters, stories, concepts? In
other words, can you tease us anything that could be coming out in the future?
Oh yeah, there's Beyond's issue 2 coming out called Viva Area 51.
That sounds interesting.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
The first one was Brown Mountain Madness, which it started life as a Otakuverse story, but I moved it on to its own one-shot where George Lucas did and extended the story.
Wait, George Lucas is involved here?
No, I mean, it was like my version of George Lucason.
Okay. I was about to say, like...
Yeah, I was about to say,
you're holding out on it, buddy. Like, that's kind of important information if you have George Lucas on board.
No, I didn't. I meant it was almost George Lucas. Like, when he was doing the re-releases of the original trilogy in the 90s.
As long as you don't do a somehow Gilgamesh returned, I think you're good.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh boy.
That's a good one, Nick.
All right, so tell me about this Neo Tokyo Tears. Like this one, I have two very big reasons why I want to know.
Of course, fine. Nick. Of course, that's where your mind goes.
Oh yeah, Neo Tokyo Tears is a different book and a different imprint.
Okay.
It's second player imprint. Me and a friend worked on this one. And the reason
what's it about?
It's about a bio cyborg lady who literally she's being pursued by the mob, and because she got framed for killing someone that she shouldn't have, and also her boss is actually her lover and stuff. Think of it as like Pulp Fiction meets Ghost in the Shell meets Deadpool.
I like that.
So one thing I want to ask you is, what are your inspirations? Like what kind of stuff do you draw from to create your stories? Obviously, we got like some superhero, we got some cyberpunk, but what franchises really inspire your stories? Please tell me.
Okay. For this one, it's Ghost in the Shell, Deadpool, and Pulp Fiction, which is obvious. For Kanine, it's Batman in the Shadow and probably a few anime manga things.
Mm-hmm.
Anime manga is actually one of my biggest inspirations. So you could tell
Good.
that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And also next gen, he's kind of like I inspired him with Batman. I mean Iron Man, but I thought of him as more of a Peter Parker style character
Mm-hmm.
in an Iron Man
Okay.
story. Yeah. Later Peter Parker, where he has to balance out his life and everything. And he's a little jokey and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And
I like that.
yeah.
So what's your approach to writing? Do you have any sort of like themes, or like do you have any sort of like what's your process? Like how does things go from like idea to the page? Because like I'm a writer and that's
Oh,
kind of what I like to focus on, and
okay.
I like to know how other writers do what they do. So please tell me.
Oh, sometimes I write a checklist because it's very difficult for me to write paragraphs of the story while working on the comic book.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And my mind works like in the old Marvel method,
Mm-hmm.
I write a plot and then I break it down in a list, and then I draw the pages based on that list, and I mark out certain scenes. Not all of them get into the book, but some of them do.
All right, and then when you go from like script to actually doing the art, how does that work? Like, what's your process for creating the art?
Oh, the art? That's easy. First I start off from the scripting stage. Then I just think
Mhm.
of what would be the best angle, the best scene, and the best pieces of set pieces, and the best way of interpreting that scene.
Mm-hmm.
And
All right.
sometimes I just mess around and draw and experiment and stuff.
That
It,
works.
it
All right,
depends on. Oh, sorry. It
and
depends on the
how
scene.
long from start to finish does it take you to create a finished comic book? Like, what's your average
Oh
time?
boy. Usually it's sometimes around 6 or 7 months.
Hmm.
Depending if I'm working on another book. If if I'm working on one book, it's probably somewhat about half, but it does take me a little longer to do the lettering,
Yeah,
and the coloring and stuff. Those things drain up the time level. So if those were
yeah,
disappeared, it'd probably take 3 months still, but it'd be a lot faster. And
yeah.
also
So,
page count
oh,
too.
yeah. So as creators, as indie creators especially, I would say one of our biggest hurdles is like resources or lack thereof. So here's a question I'd like to ask you.
Hmm.
If let's say you had an investment of let's just say $500,000, and you had to spend that on your comic and related business, what would you do? Like, what would you spend it on to improve either your comic, your business, or just how things are ran? What would you do with those resources?
I would just hire a colorist and a letterer and try to, boost up the number of places I can sell the book. Heck, I probably might be able to sell it on Amazon because the reason I don't sell it on there is because it doesn't look that good actually. So, some parts don't look that good.
I think it looks good
It looks
personally.
fine.
Yeah,
It looks fine.
yeah, it looks
Trust
fine.
me, I've seen a lot worse, buddy. Like I've done like open calls for commissions, and let me tell you, I have seen stuff like that looks like so friggin' bad. You would be surprised. This is good art, okay?
Dude, I've seen stuff from the big two that doesn't even come close to this.
Fair
Like
enough.
seriously, like the Captain Marvel pig face.
Oh yeah, remember
Oh,
that?
I remember that.
Oh my! I can't believe that was ever like accepted as standard for the big two. I'm like, who's editing this art? The answer is no
Um,
one, but that's besides the
that's
point.
true. And
So
and
what brought you
also,
to the indie space? Like what brought you to kind of create indie comics? So what was kind of your motivation for joining this crazy camaraderie?
this is going to be a little controversial, but it was Richard C. Meyer.
What about him?
Basically, when he did the Jawbreakers book, it got me pumped up so much I wanted to do it. So yeah, I had to find solutions on distribution, and I knew I couldn't do Kickstarter or Indie Planet. I mean, not Indiegogo, because that's why I'm using Indie Planet. I can actually sell as many copies as possible because they print it on demand for you.
Yeah, like I've dealt with Indie Planet before. I think I have some Indie Planet books around here somewhere. But yeah,
Yeah, it was the plan mostly.
yeah, because like Like I was working with an independent studio back in around that time, and I mean, hell, the first version of Project Axis is an Indie Planet book.
Oh, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'll search for it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's on Indie Planet because like that was with the previous company, and they've since taken it down.
Oh,
I keep meaning to put my stuff
jerks.
back on Indie Planet,
Mhm.
but well, no, I left the company to form my own, so it needed to be done.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
Mhm.
But yeah, but this isn't about me. This is about you. So, like we touched upon kind of the problem with the big two. So like what's your kind of your big thing? Like what really motivated you to tell your story? Like what about the mainstream kind of ticks you off, if anything?
Oh, the quality of art, the storytelling, and all the stupid political crap they're putting in the stuff.
Yeah. Is there any like mainstream character that you would you would say are like some of your favorites?
Oh, mainstream characters? They're my favorites. Yeah, Iron Man, Spider Man, Superman, Batman. I got a long list. I always put it down as tiers, and Wolverine 2 is also another one. I also I like Deathstroke and Deadpool. That explains why I created a character like them.
There you go.
And also, oh, sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I was interrupting you.
Okay, I just got one more to add in too.
Okay.
A few Japanese ones, to be honest with you, and
Mhm.
probably Spawn. I forgot which. Okay, let me. Well, Shonen and Shinin style characters. I mean, there's a lot of characters that inspired me.
So I have a question, and this is gonna get Jared to climb up in the seat. Who do you think belongs?
Oh
with
no! Oh no! It's this question.
What is it? I didn't hear
Alright.
that.
I knew it. I knew it. This would get him up.
Can I
Okay.
ask it?
Go
Sure.
right ahead, Jared.
All right. Who do you think Wonder Woman works better as in a couple, Superman or Batman?
Steve Trevor.
Oh my god!
The choices were Superman and Batman.
I know.
No. I respect that, JD. You like you chose the one answer specifically designed to piss Jared off.
Literally the most useless DC Comics character of all time.
JD woke up and chose violence today, everybody.
I congratulate you, dude, of picking option C in a question that only had A and B. I applaud you, good sir.
I know, right?
What's your opinion on Lois?
Oh, it depends on the depiction, you know. Sometimes she can be a jerk, sometimes she can be a pretty nice person, and sometimes she can be a thoughtful person who can understand Clark's feelings. I mean, it's hard to write a character like that and be a spitfire, you know.
Okay, that's the diplomatic answer, and I respect that because ultimately it does depend on the writer. I personally can't stand Lois Lane because I find that she, most of the time in my experience, she is an annoying person. That's just me. That's just me. But I just can't get over that perfect way you answered that question. Steve Trevor, okay.
Yeah.
That was great.
So, just to make things equal between me and Jared, JD, I have another shipping question for you.
Oh, yes!
Who do you think is better with Nightwing? Batgirl or Starfire? And just remember, if you pick the wrong answer, I will boot you. Just kidding.
No.
Okay. I would say both.
If you had to pick one,
I would have to flip a coin then.
No, just pick one.
Okay, it depends if he doesn't have a title. If he's stuck on the Teen Titans, I would say Starfire because she's got bigger,
That's a reason, I guess.
Yeah.
That's a reason. I'll give you that, dude. I'll respect that. That's a reason. It's purely because not making a choice. Wait, Nick, not picking a choice still pisses you off.
I mean, we all know JD has very good taste. So. All right, Jared. Any questions you got for JD?
Is there any particular like storylines from the from comics that you've read that really influence like the types of stories you write?
Well, sometimes The Dark Knight Returns is one of them, and sometimes it's just random comics I read.
That works. That works. I figured DKR because a lot of what I've seen has that has a little bit of DKR flavor in it.
Oh yeah, that is true.
Also, please tell me this is Guyver inspired, because like this cover, like that suit looks Guyver.
Well, actually, I guess it is sort of Guyver, but also sort of like an extremist suit.
Jared, are you familiar with Guyver?
Once again, I'm just now getting into anime.
Yeah. Here's the funny thing about that one. Oh, sorry. That cover was
go ahead, JD.
The cover was inspired by a Sim Sharinko cover for Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Real.
That works.
Yeah, that was kind of the idea. Now go ahead and explain.
All right. Well, let's see. I'm gonna link this. I'm just gonna kind of show this real quick. Just kind of show you. All right. This is Guyver, buddy.
That is terrifying. This looks like it's inspired by Species.
I think Species was inspired by this. This was done way before it.
Yeah, and this was this is based off an anime, and the anime looks a lot worse.
Wow.
Actually, the second one was pretty good. The second Guyver movie.
He has steam coming out of his helmet. I love it.
Yeah.
Fun fact: the guy who designed the Guyver suit would go on to work on Kamen Rider Dragon Knight.
Not surprised.
Yeah, I'm only kidding.
Oh, even better. You want to know what his name is?
What, Nick?
Steve Wang.
Oh yeah, that's pretty funny. Steve Wang.
Geez, that's great.
Yeah, pretty sweet. So as we're kind of approaching the last kind of 3 or so minutes here, JD, where can people find you? Where can they find you?
Oh, you can just go to you could just click on the link on my link tree to find all my stuff. It's easier to
Which
do
will
it
be in
that
the
way
comments down below.
Yes. Yeah, the link tree is the easiest way to find this stuff, and also find more stuff too, like my DeviantArt, my Instagram, my Twitter, all the and my merch store, which is not selling much stuff, but hey, maybe someday, right?
And then what do you got in store for us? Like, what can people look forward to? What are you working on?
I'm currently figuring a way to release my comics regularly on a site. Like I'm planning on using Galactic Comics as the site or the torrent to release new books on over time.
Have you looked into Global Comics?
That's what I'm saying. Global Comics.
Yeah, I've used them and they're really good. I do recommend them.
Yeah, I'm just making it like free entertainment. Then you can just, as you read it, and then I don't know, probably to promote the book a little bit that way.
Yeah.
And also over time, I'll probably just put it together and just, because I'm thinking about just releasing it like in 5 pages or 4 or something like that. And then I would just put it on that site, and pretty much each month, like a monthly release.
Hey, that works. So, Jared, any final things you want to ask him, say to him?
Everything looks good, and I look forward to checking out your stuff.
Yeah.
All right. So guys, thank you, JD, for coming on. You were a really good guest. I really do appreciate you. And please, guys, please do check out JD's Indie Planet. A link will be in the comments, in the description down below, as well as his link tree. Check him out on all this stuff. JD's a really great guy. JD, honestly, we actually go back farther than pretty far. I think we go back to 2019, 2020ish. You've been a really great friend to me, a really great guy, and I really do appreciate you. Jared, screw you.
What?
I just laughed. Okay, I'm sorry.
No.
No, I'm talking
it
to
wasn't you,
Jerry.
It was that chuckle hut up there.
Oh, okay,
Well-
fair enough.
Well, the thing is, I can do this. So, all right, bottom row for you. So,
I'll remember that the next time you're promoting a comic, Nick.
Fuck off, Bud.
So, this has been Nick from the Phoenix Press. And remember, I can only show you the door. You're the ones to walk through it. Super Wonder rules.